Well, hello there, Timmy.
Hey, Mr. Corporate.
Say, Timmy, how would you like to learn about how to make a whole bunch of money using a little thing that we like to call insider trading?
Wowee, that sounds swell. Isn't that illegal? I don't want to go back to prison, Mr. C.
Well, Timmy, there are no hard and fast rules in the world of big business, and if you follow my advice, you might be okay.
Jeepers, this sounds like a well-thought-out plan that can't possibly go wrong, Mr. Corporate.
Well, we'll see about that, Timmy. Now, I've prepared a little visual presentation to help you come to understand the concept just a little bit better.
Jumping magical picture box, Mr. Corporate. What's that thing?
Well, that's a television, Timmy.
Wowee, now I've seen everything. The tiny people inside are moving around and everything.
Okay, try to remain calm now, because this is very important. You see, back during the golden age of insider trading, you could get away with anything you wanted. Of course, thanks to meddlesome new laws, things aren't quite as simple as they once were.
Gee willikers, as a child, I love hearing about how things used to be. Tell me more about the glorious golden age of insider trading, Mr. C.
Oh, well, I suppose I could do that. You see, there was nothing you couldn't do, Timmy. You could short sell your own company's stock knowing it was going to fall due to your own gross incompetence and lack of oversight. Why, you could amass a fortune overnight, Timmy. You could buy stocks with knowledge of upcoming mergers and reap hundreds of millions of dollars from the deals. You could pump up worthless stocks, sell your shares before the masses even caught on. The sky was the limit, Timmy.
I'm sure there were penalties if you got caught, though, right, Mr. C?
Oh, certainly, Timmy. Even if you earned, let's say, $500 million in today's money, they could fine you half of your hard-won gains and sentence you to a couple of years in a federal prison.
Wowee! But you'd still have $250 million, right?
Well, sure, but that's only half of what you had, so it's a very stiff penalty, you see.
Golly gosh, I guess I see your point.
But while the golden age may be over, the wise men who created our wonderful free market system provided another way to become a successful inside trader. And that's to become an esteemed member, or even a not-so-esteemed member, of our great American Congress.
Wowie zowie, it all sounds so easy, Mr. C.
Well, it is if you're in Congress. And as a member of Congress, you'll be asked to take part in one or more different committees. In these committees, you'll have access to information about a wide range of potential investment opportunities. Whether it's about an upcoming war, a devastating global pandemic, even something as simple as a humble workaday multi-billion-dollar government contract.
Great Caesar's ghost! Do you have to look like a Bond villain to be a congressman?
No, but it doesn't hurt. But what matters is the information inside your misshapen head. With the proper insider information, you can make trades that take advantage of your knowledge to earn millions, outperforming the stock market as a whole, and even outperforming billionaires with decades-long track records of incredible success. And it's all thanks to the power of the glorious free market system.
Glory be! Of course, I mean, it seems like if not everybody has this information, it's not really free, is it?
Well, of course it is. Why, you have the absolute freedom to become a member of Congress, so you too can have access to this valuable information.
I'm only 10.
Well, that's no excuse, Timmy. Now, here's another example. If, thanks to years of deregulation and risky financial practices in the real estate market, there's a housing bubble about to burst, causing a catastrophic drop in the stock market, you'll be able to unload all of your stocks long before the prices begin to plummet, and everyday working-class Americans begin to reap the benefits of no longer having to worry about the burden of home ownership. It's another wonder of the free market economy.
You keep using that word.
Then you could purchase those stocks back at a fraction of the price before creating new laws to bail out the very businesses who created the problem in the first place. Yes, the free market truly has many wonderful powers.
There's that word again.
And even if you feel like these magically wonderful trades might have the appearance of looking suspicious to the casual observer, you could always simply give the information to your spouse and let them make the trades. Yet another of the many wonders of the free market.
I really don't think that means what you think it means.
Now, be warned, Timmy, because one pitfall you may run afoul of is to be an average, everyday, all-American, regular person.
Golly, Oskies, like my mommy and daddy?
Precisely, a poor person. You see, ordinary, everyday, run-of-the-mill poor people should never have access to insider information because it would simply be too dangerous. Now, let's say you're a housekeeper at a fine 5-star hotel.
Just like my mommy. Only the hotel's out by the freeway, and part of the roof collapsed last week, and there's a lot of rats.
Yes, well, let's say your mother overhears some very important person talking to a very important friend about an insider trade they're about to make. If your mother scrapes together a few weeks' worth of her minimum wage salary and acts on that trade, she can be liable for large fines and even a lengthy prison sentence if she should happen to profit off of that trade, if even only for a few dollars.
Holy Moses, that sounds like the system is rigged.
Well, of course, Timmy. That's the free market. Now, of course, there is a slight chance that the public gets fed up after seeing how much money you make while they're losing everything, and in that case, you'll want to work with fellow members of Congress to craft a new law that helps give the appearance that all of these trades are on the level.
Wowee! I'm sure the people who are making millions off insider trading will create a strong and fair law that has some real teeth.
Yeah, you would think so. And with your new powerful law, you'll only have up to 45 days to report any transactions you might have made with your insider information.
Whiz bang! That seems like a long time.
Well, it's certainly long enough that even if some sneaky, low-level degenerates try to copy your purchases for their own illicit gains, you and your family can benefit, just as God and the Constitution itself might have intended. But if you don't follow the rules, even as a member of Congress, you could pay a heavy price.
Wowee! What happens if you don't comply with these unbelievably generous rules?
You can expect a fine of up to and including $200.
So my mommy goes to prison, and Congress gets fined $200?
Now you understand. Though, in most cases, that fine is going to be waived.
Gee, Mr. Corporate, none of this free market stuff sounds free at all. It seems like a better system might be one where everybody has the same information.
That would be exceedingly dangerous, Timmy.
But why?
Poor people should not be allowed to access this kind of information.
And how come Congress gets to trade on any sort of insider information? Maybe we could ban Congress from trading stocks at all and they can invest in a blind trust instead.
A blind trust, Timmy? Now, how are these poor, hardworking members of Congress supposed to afford to live on a paltry $200,000 a year with their money in a blind trust that does no better than the market as a whole? Timmy, when you're a little bit richer, you'll understand how ridiculous that concept actually sounds.
Well, everybody else gets by without insider information. Matter of fact, why don't they forfeit their entire salary if they're already making millions on insider trades?
Timmy, you have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm really starting to get a migraine.
Well, it looks like little Timmy and Mr. Corporate have plenty to discuss. Tune in next week for another informative episode of Fun and Profit.
They're just cheating.